What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Halloween 2. And just for clarity, this is a review of the second Rob Zombie Halloween film. This is not a review of the original Halloween 2, nor is it a review of the more recent Halloween film, which is a sequel to the original Halloween film, which is also titled Halloween. I can't with these fucking titles. So Halloween 2, if you saw my review for the first one, you know that I'm not crazy about that movie. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. I enjoy it within the line of Michael Myers films. I think it has its own place within the Halloween films. And on an overall level, I thought it was just a cool time. And I enjoy the more dark, sick, and twisted vibe that Rob Zombie brings to these films. It's a lot more brutal. It's a lot more just grimy and gritty. And I really enjoy that. And I think that this film is about the exact same thing in that level. I really do enjoy the darker feel, the grittier vibe, the lot more brutal sense. I enjoy that about Rob Zombie films sometimes. And I definitely like that kind of darker vibe that he brought to Michael Myers and his backstory. Now when it comes to this film, yeah, you know, I'm not crazy about this one. I think this is worse than the first film, and like I said, I enjoy the first one for what it is, but the dialogue in the first one is really bad. A lot of the performances and the characters are really bad, and this film definitely follows suit, and I feel like it's a lot worse. You don't care about really any of the characters in this film except for Laurie Strode, and even Laurie Strode in this film is just kind of annoying to me. The actress who plays her, Scout Taylor-Compton, I believe her name is, she's alright, you know. I just don't really feel like her writing was really given anything that was strong. I don't really care for her character. She plays a character that's dealing with trauma after the events of the first film, and she's having a lot of nightmares, and that's one of the really annoying things about this film, is that a lot of this film is visions and nightmares. There are so many fake out nightmares in this movie, and it's kind of annoying. The whole first chunk of the film that you think is part of the movie is all a nightmare, and it's just kind of annoying. It just keeps happening. You're just like, okay, here we are with another nightmare. And then throughout the film, Michael Myers is having these visions where he sees his mom and he sees a younger version of himself. I really enjoyed the actor who played young Michael Myers in the first of these movies because I feel like he was very dark and twisted. He looked like somebody who can grow up to be a serial killer, and I really enjoyed his look. And in this movie, yeah, they recast him with a younger kid that kind of just looks like a nice, kind of sweet young boy. There's not really anything about him that's creepy. The lines don't really sell to me when he's delivering the lines. I just don't really believe him as a young Michael Myers, at least not in the way I did with the first movie. Similar to the first movie and majority of the Michael Myers-centric films, I think Michael Myers is definitely the best part of this movie. I definitely enjoy a lot of the kills. Again, there's a more brutal and just kind of gritty sense to his kills. He grunts a lot more in this movie than I really ever remember him doing in any other films. Like literally consistent grunts and groans while he's killing people. I don't really remember that happening in other Michael Myers films, but yeah, it's just something that I noticed rewatching this. And yeah, on an overall level, I feel like you have a very cool premise, right, of Laurie Strode having this trauma from the first film. You have this newer, kind of darker vibe that these Rob Zombie films bring to the story, and you got Michael Myers looking pretty cool. I like his design in this film. In this film, he's kind of been away for a while. He has a beard, he has long hair, he's wearing the mask, and it's kind of like all torn up on the side, so his beard's coming out one side. It's definitely like a very heavy metal look to the character, which makes sense with Rob Zombie directing, and that's something that I enjoy as a heavy metal fan, is I enjoy a lot of the imagery and the feel and the vibe that he puts into his movies that feel very metal. And so I think the design of Michael Myers in this film and a lot of just how brutal it all feels and how gross and grimy it feels is thanks to that heavy metal, just grunge feeling that he adds to these films. Michael Myers looks cool in this movie. I enjoy a lot of his kills, but yeah, his story is just kind of lackluster. He keeps having these visions, like I mentioned, where he sees his mother, who's played by Rob Zombie's wife, and she's kind of hit or miss for me in these movies. And all of his movies, she's in The Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, and you know, that whole trilogy, and most of his other movies, and she's in these movies. And in this movie, she's just kind of annoying. I don't really buy into her kind of vision version of her. It's just the whole vision element with Michael Myers just seems kind of strange to me. And again, I don't really like the actor that they recasted for the young version of him in this film, but I do enjoy Michael Myers and the kills that he has in this movie. He's very imposing, he's very creepy, and I really enjoy all the screen time he has. But a lot of the movie is focused on Laurie Strode, and that makes sense. She's the main girl. But yeah, a lot of her screen time is just her screaming and crying and kind of just being over the top. And then when she's kind of chilling it with other people and there's just kind of downtime with characters, the dialogue is just so bad. I think the only character that I really found myself connecting to, now that I'm thinking about it, is Brad Dourif's character. He plays a sheriff who's the father of a girl who was attacked in the first film and is also best friends with Laurie. And after the events of the last film, Laurie is now staying with them. And he's, yeah, you know, he's definitely protective of his daughter. He's protective of his life. And yeah, he took in this girl who has this traumatic past, has this connection to the serial killer. And, you know, I feel bad because everything just kind of goes wrong for this guy in this movie. movie. I really enjoy Brad Dourif as an actor, so seeing him in this movie is really nice. But yeah, on an overall level, I enjoy a lot about this movie as far as the visuals, the kills, and the things that, you know, the horror slasher parts of it, but the story is just kind of lackluster. Some of the performances and specifically the dialogue are really, really bad, and I don't really feel like you care about anything throughout this movie other than seeing Michael Myers kill people. So some people can say that's a really good thing if that's all you're looking for when it comes to a movie like this. You know, I totally can see the stuff that's in there that's really cool. As a fan of Michael Myers, I would never tell anybody not to watch this movie. As a fan of slashers, I would never tell anybody not to watch this movie, but I think it's definitely in the lower tier of Halloween films for me, and since I reviewed the first one, I figured I'd review this one. Another thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly is Loomis in this film. He feels almost like a different character than he was in the first film. In the first film, he seemed like somebody who really cared about Michael Myers, and when he broke out, he really wanted to be engaged and be a part of this because he felt like he was one of the main reasons or one of the main things that could stop Michael Myers from his killing rampage. And you think that Loomis dies in that first movie because he essentially gets his eyes gouged out, and I really have no idea how in this movie he has no scars, no damage to his face or anything, and hardly even mentions what happens in the last one other than saying that he almost died. But if you've seen the first one, it looked like he pretty much died, or he should have at least had some sort of eyesight issues, and in this next film he has almost no damage or nothing that shows that he went through that situation with Michael in the first film. And in this film he just seems like a very different character. He doesn't really seem to react to things the same way, and sure, time has passed, and the idea is that this time around he's kind of using the story of Michael and all those things and those connections he had with Michael to help sell his book and to help kind of give him publicity. So he's kind of changed as a person on the overall. But then at the end of this film, he tries to play hero, and you just kind of, I just feel like Loomis was kind of wasted in this film. And when you have an actor like Malcolm McDowell, who is a really good actor, I think he gives a good performance. I just didn't really enjoy the writing on his character, and they just don't feel consistent from the first film to the second film, especially since I binged them back to back. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be my thoughts on Halloween 2, the second of the Rob Zombie films. Yeah, you know, there's things about it visually and as far as like the horror elements, the kills, and all that kind of stuff that I really like. I really like the way Michael Myers looks in this film, but I definitely could not even give half a rat's ass about any of the characters in this movie. There's a lot about it that's just forgettable. There's a lot about it that's just kind of like, eh. And on a story level, I'm just never gripped watching this movie. But I do enjoy the kills. I enjoy the way Michael Myers looks. And I think if you're a fan of slashers or a fan of Michael Myers and you've never seen this movie, I do recommend you guys check it out. I'm going to go ahead and end this review right here because now that I'm looking at myself, I'm looking really greasy because it's so hot here in Florida in this garage. My family's all home, so I can't really be filming inside, which is why I've been filming most of my reviews in here during this quarantine. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Comment your thoughts down below, and I will see each and every single one of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.